How's it going, guys? Jordan Meyer, Wholesome Family Farms. Today it's a nice and cloudy one. Got lots of rain here. I think it's November 20th today. Yeah, we're actually installing a tire tank, so stay tuned. Okay, here's what we got going on here. This is just the level. I was seeing if it was level or not. We got 3-inch tile coming up underground along with our 1-inch from our 1.25 inch deep buried water line from the yard back there. And I've got I think it's an 8-inch culvert underneath there. Did that to have a little extra ground heat for the water line coming up underground, so it'll have a little bit of earth heat coming to keep that warm. I don't know if it's necessary or not. It's what I did. I know most of my other friends and other people that have done these tire tanks didn't even bother with that, but I did it, and then I had to come up with an idea that how am I going to get that covered so the cement doesn't go down the tube. And I got one of them old iodine barrels that we have for the dairy, and I just cut the top off that and shoved that over the hole and drilled a hole through that to let the water line come through. It'll be more than sufficient to get keep the cement from going down the tile. And this will be our overflow here. And yeah, my dad's first cousin, this is his design. Basically, we got 4-inch PVC that's got a fern co connected onto the 4-inch tile line that drains down to our ditch down there in the woods for overflow to keep this water from freezing. And then I got to cut some more of this off yet so that this coupling will be even with the top of the cement. And then there'll be another piece of 4-inch PVC shoved into that, coming up to about even with the top of the tank. And then we'll have 4-inch, basically, man, why am I drawing a blank? It's a cover to block out any debris and stuff that could get in this tile and potentially plug it, but the water is going to drain into that piece for the overflow part to keep it from freezing. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna keep on rolling here because it's supposed to be turning bad weather, of course. You know, why would we bother doing this in the summertime? You know, we gotta wait till the last minute to get this kind of a job done. So here we are trying to get it done. But anyway, I'll keep on rolling here and I'll try to keep you guys up to date, and then I'll definitely show you the finished product. All right, we got the cement in. We actually mixed ours with water. I know there's a lot of people that say, you don't need to do that, just tamp some dry in there and call it good. But I don't know, part of me kind of wonders about that. I guess I don't know, every time I've mixed cement together, you know, you put it in a wheelbarrow or whatever you're mixing it in, and it takes a lot for that water to get through it all. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, like, does it do a good enough job? Maybe it does over time, I'm not entirely sure, but figured at least this way, then I know for sure. But we're definitely on a race against time here because it's going to be getting down to freezing temps here now. So figured better get this thing poured while we're still dry. So hopefully she works, but well, now we're going to have to get the ball. Well, first we're going to come off of this with a T, and then we're going to have a ball valve with a hole drilled in it on the one side for allowing the continuous flow to keep it from freezing, and then we're going to have the ball or the float valve on the other side. And then I got to have a 4-inch piece of PVC to shove in there with the vent stack on top for letting the overflow work. But stay tuned for the rest of the video, putting the rest together and trying it out. Well, we're back, guys. I think it's actually 2 days later since we were working on the tank. Should be able to fill her up with water today, but figured I'd show you guys some stockpile grazing that we're doing with the Jersey cows here. Got a bunch of nice brome grass here that's still really nice and green and very thick in here. We got a really good thatch layer too, but I'm not going to push them super hard to take all the thatch or nothing either. These guys got to perform and keep weight on them coming into winter and make milk too. So here's the line where they were, right from that post basically, so you could see green and not so much green. But we've been laying the carbon down over the years here, and we definitely got a good thatch layer here. But I think throughout the winter I might end up putting the sheep down in here anyway, so they'll definitely take more of that and create some more disturbance that way. But that might be a good thing for here, because we like to get more diversity, and that'd be a good way to do it. So, but the cows were runny coming into here, and they're starting to get pretty firm, so maybe supplementing them with some baleage might not be a bad idea, because they're eating enough brown in here now that they're starting to stack up, which is okay. Interesting fact too, I can taste in the milk big time if they're too washy or not. And honestly, like, I like the flavor of milk when they have their piles of manure that are looking like that. It's not too much nitrogen, the muns are lower in the milk, and to me it just tastes better. It's not near as much of a grassy taste as what some people call it. But yeah, it's interesting. I got a weird nose for it. Friends and I joke, and my wife does too, that I'm the connoisseur of milk tasting. It's kind of interesting. Milk that I don't like or tolerate at all, my wife Rochelle, she won't even notice a difference. And it's really interesting how certain people have certain qualities to them that are sense different things. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we're still in the middle of our fencing project here yet. We got to get a line up along the perimeter here. A couple trees there, but I think the line will actually be right on the base of that hill anyway, so but won't worry too much there. But we're heading over the hill here. We're going to push a brush pile out of the way so we can get some brace posts in there, so we can run some wire and get the stakes pounded in here and get our 6-wire high tensile fence up. Yeah, this whole chunk right here was all solid brush and trees and a bunch of junk stuff that grew up in the fence line, and neighbor's son-in-law was kind enough to bulldoze her off for us. There's a sheep right there. And we got a interior fence coming right here through, kind of right about the center of it all, and then we'll have a perimeter fence going right up, down, and up along the right side of them bales. And that brush pile right at the bottom here is what we're going to be pushing out of the road. Yeah, we got the water line rolled up along the other side already. Since it's got so cold out on us, we figured better get the water line rolled out, so at least we'll have it rolled out and can just push it along the fence, because right now, you know, with how cold it is, it wouldn't roll out very good if it was still in the roll. A little bit of everything today, folks. Now we're feeding sheep. We're grazing and feeding at the same time. So trying to save our stockpile and kind of do everything all at once. We got a few burrs on them, that's for sure. Well, we got her filling up here for the first time. Don't mind my long tail float valve. I have a couple on hand, and I figured why buy another one, and so I ended up doing this, but I should really just cut some of that off and thread it in there. It's as far as I can get it in, but it'll work. It's solid. So it's kind of close to my standpipe too, but it'll be fine. And then we got the part coming up right here for blowing water out to keep the valve open. Yeah, I know, and that kind of sticks up too. I would have rather had it come off like that, but that's just the way. This key was a hydrant key. I had all the stuff ordered kind of over the phone when I was talking to the person that was helping me out. Had my mom run the errands for me and get the parts, and I guess I shouldn't have done that, but it's what you get when you're busy. Because what happened is this end is barbed and that end is barbed, and then this end was threaded. It's a hydrant tee. So then I just put the coupler onto this and then the float valve onto that, and then the barb end's there. So that's how you end up with the configuration you got, but it should work fine. And then this valve right here is gonna create the stream of water to keep it from freezing, and then it'll leak in through here, and then that'll go down the drain tile and drain out down there in the woods. So should work out pretty good. Probably won't need to have that on for a little while though, because it's not going to get that cold yet. That'll stay thawed out, you know, well down even into the 20s or maybe even upper teens. I don't know. If you have critters drinking out of it too, you know, as long as it's far enough down in there where it doesn't freeze all the way down to it, you know, it should be just fine. And you know, the water line going down in, I got that culvert underneath there to create some ground heat for the water line coming up too, so it's really insulated. Not worried about that a bit. And I wasn't lucky enough to have this PVC pipe. This is 4-inch PVC into the repair coupler PVC that we got into the cement there. The first time I did this, it was leaking, so then I had to put I was looking for some caulk, but I didn't have any, so then I just ended up using some gasket maker and put that in there, and that sealed it off. So we'll let this thing fill up, and we'll come back after doing a few chores and see what it looks like, and see if I'm gonna have to adjust my PVC to the right height for letting the water drain out, because I want to have this tank full so the sheep and goats and cattle or whatever can get a drink nice and easy. I'm gonna have to get some gravel out here too and berm this thing up, but it's been just so wet here lately. So once it either freezes or dries up, I'll have a truck come out here and dump me a pile of gravel right around it right here. So that should work out pretty good. I shouldn't say gravel, I'll probably do like sewer rock or something like that. Something that's gonna last, hold up to all the sheep. So we're on the south end of this farm and they're on the northern end, and the corn strips that you see in between us, that's my dad's piece there. So it's kind of funny how that works. We have where the sheep are over there to the north, and then there's a little valley in between ours and my dad's, which at my dad's is this little piece here, and that connects to the home farm, which is that. Then we have the woods that comes all the way around, and then the line comes up right there, right in that ravine there, and then that's what this farm is here, and then we have this piece here. So more grazing. And then for shutting this thing off, we got a curb stop right here, and there's the tool for turning it on and off, so that'll stay thawed out too. So if we're going to be in a winter time when we're not going to be using this thing, we can shut that off right there, and we can drain the tank, and all the water that's in the valves here and everything will drain back into the ground and won't freeze. So we won't have to have it full or any of that. And then the hydrant obviously will be emptied as well. Lady just loves to run. Just about 30 miles an hour. Not bad for a small dog. All right, guys. Here's the finished product. We ended up having to, well, we set the float valve there before we left, as you saw. I got over here and the level of the water is like perfectly right around the tip of the whole tank. It was pretty crazy. I had it set that close to the edge, but realized that the overflow wasn't at the right height. I had to cut this much of it off. So now it's right there at the edge of that, and the water is shut off, so we're not leaking water that way. And now as soon as we turn that valve on, it'll be going right through that vent stack, and we won't have to worry about it freezing. And nothing should block that either. It should be plenty enough area for water to get away, and This will be high enough for the goats and everybody to drink, but I still got to get the rock here yet. So that's the next project. So today's Saturday. We'll get them here on Monday probably, and I'll tell them to bring a load of rock out here and get her taken care of. We'll be ready to do some winter grazing. I sure wish I would have gotten one of these in over on that side. I didn't get that done. That'll be a project for next year, so, which is fine. Them things, they don't really drink a whole lot of water, so we're pretty fortunate that way anyways. But if we ever get cattle back here, then, or feeding dry hay for that matter, then they'll drink a lot more. But they're eating the hay and baleage right now, so they don't need much. But with that, folks, I'm gonna get on out of here and probably continue on fencing over there on the north line. Everyone have a good day. Take care. God bless.